Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take all those articles, notes, things you send us.
Yeah, the research people want us to look into.
Exactly. And we dive in, find the important stuff. We try to be your shortcut to getting informed.
That's the idea.
So today we're tackling something that, honestly, it pops up quite a bit, especially when you're looking at retirement options.
Mm-hmm. The whole tangible asset thing?
Right, like gold. Owning something physical for retirement, it feels solid, secure. You see the ads, you hear about it.
It definitely has that appeal. I mean, in a world that's so digital, having actual gold or silver, it feels different, gives a sense of stability maybe.
Yeah, stability. And that feeling leads right into the question you asked us to really get into. Based on this article someone sent, can I store my IRA gold at home?
Yes, that one. It's probably one of the first questions people have.
I bet. And the article you shared really goes straight at it. So our job today is, well, unpack the answer, obviously, but also the why behind it.
And the how, the mechanics of it all, based on these sources, that's where the details really matter.
Totally. And look, the simple answer to, can I keep my IRA gold in my house?
Mm-hmm.
The article makes it pretty clear, pretty fast.
It does. It's quite direct.
But understanding why that's the rule and, frankly, what happens if you don't follow it, that's where the real, the critical info is. And maybe some potential pitfalls, too. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, so jumping right in,
Right.
The material we looked at, absolutely clear on this. Storing gold or silver or any precious metal that's owned by your IRA, storing it at home,
Yeah.
not allowed. Or in your personal safe deposit box or, anywhere you personally control it, the IRS says no. Full stop.
Wow. Okay. No wiggle room there. Like not even one little gold coin you keep in a drawer.
As far as the rules for assets inside the IRA go, no. The moment it's in your hands, personally, the IRS treats it completely differently.
Okay. Okay. So if you absolutely cannot store it at home, no, wait, what's the logic? Why can't my retirement gold just be, safe in my own house?
Well, the reason, according to the sources, it gets right to the purpose of an IRA. Think about it. The gold in your IRA, it's an investment for retirement.
Right. Not just gold you happen to own.
Exactly. It's not supposed to be like a personal belonging you can just dip into or, use whenever you feel like it before you hit retirement age, at least not without facing consequences.
So it's really about preserving the retirement account structure.
Yeah.
Keeping that pot of money strictly for retirement.
Precisely. The rule is there specifically to prevent people from, misusing it or taking it out early. If you could just bring the gold bars home,
Yeah.
it would be way too easy to maybe sell one on the side or use it somehow, effectively taking an early distribution without going through the proper channels, the IRS channels, which involve taxes and potentially penalties.
That makes total sense from their angle. Keep the retirement in individual retirement account.
Right.
Okay, so if you can't hold it, who does?
Yeah.
Where does the physical gold actually end up? The sources mentioned two key players.
That's right. To do this legally, with precious metals inside an IRA, you absolutely need two specific types of entities involved. First, a custodian.
Custodians.
And second, an IRS-approved depository.
Right. Let's break those down. Custodian first. What's their job in all this?
Okay, the custodian has to be a financial institution that the IRS has basically given the green light to handle IRAs. So think banks, credit unions, trust companies, sometimes specialized firms that only do IRAs. Their role is essentially the admin side. They hold the asset legally on your behalf, acting as a fiduciary. They manage the account itself, deal with the paperwork, make sure transactions follow IRS rules. They administer the account.
Okay, so they handle the account, the paperwork, and they legally hold the gold for me.
But wait, do they actually have the physical bars and coins in their bank vault? That seems unlikely for some random bank branch.
That's a really good point, and it's why you need that second entity. The custodian manages the account, the legal title, the paperwork side.
But the actual physical metal.
That must be stored at the IRS-approved depository. Okay, that's where the actual Fort Knox-style storage happens.
Pretty much, yeah. These are specialized facilities. They're vetted by the IRS, specifically designed and approved for storing IRA precious metals. We're talking serious security.
Like what?
Oh, 24/7 monitoring, state-of-the-art vaults, strict access controls, the works. And crucially, they have hefty insurance policies covering the value of what's stored there.
Makes sense.
And the source material also mentions you might have choices within the depository, like segregated storage where your specific coins or bars are kept separate.
Versus just pooled with others.
Right, or non-segregated. But the main takeaway is The physical gold is securely locked up in their approved facility, not with the custodian company itself, and definitely not with you at home.
Got it. Custodian handles the account. Depository guards the actual metal. Okay, now, the really scary part. What if someone just says forget the rules and takes their IRA gold home anyway? The sources were pretty blunt about the consequences here. This is where it could go really wrong.
Oh yeah, the penalties are severe, and they're designed to be. The minute you take personal possession of gold that legally belongs to your IRA, the IRS considers that a distribution, a withdrawal from your retirement account, and not just like a small one.
What do you mean, not a small one?
The material we reviewed says the entire value of whatever precious metals you took possession of, that whole amount is treated as if you withdrew it from your IRA.
The whole value. Yeah. Just for moving it home. Even if I didn't sell it.
That seems to be the interpretation, yes. Taking possession triggers it, and then that full amount is subject to ordinary income tax in that tax year.
Wow. Okay, that's already painful.
But wait, there's more. If you're under age 59 and a half when you do this.
Oh no. The early withdrawal penalty?
Bingo! An additional 10% penalty slapped on top of the income tax on the entire value you took home.
Ouch. So just by bringing your IRA gold home, you could instantly lose, what, 30, 40, maybe 50% or more of its value to taxes and penalties, depending on your tax bracket.
Easily. It could be financially devastating, wiping out years of potential growth or your contributions. And the sources also warn this kind of violation, it could make the IRS question the legitimacy of your entire IRA.
Leading to audits. More trouble.
Potentially, yeah. Further scrutiny, maybe even disqualifying the account. So the rules, while strict, are partly there to prevent these massive financial hits. They kind of force you into a compliant structure to protect the system and maybe protect you from yourself.
Right. Protecting you from those huge penalties.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the custodian, the depository. Where do those Gold IRA companies you see advertised fit in? What's their role?
Good question. Think of the Gold IRA companies as the facilitators, the guides through this whole process, especially for investors who are new to it.
Okay.
The material explains they help with, well, pretty much everything. Setting up the IRA account itself, helping you choose the right kind of gold or silver, because not all coins or bars meet the IRS purity and type standards for IRAs.
But there are specific requirements.
Very specific. And they help liaise between you, the custodian you choose, and the depository. They arrange the purchase and the secure transfer of the metals to the storage facility. Often, they have existing relationships with certain custodians and depositories they prefer to work with.
Which might make it easier.
It can streamline things, yeah. But the source material usually notes that the final choice of custodian should still be yours. They're like the project managers guiding the whole setup.
Gotcha. The project managers for your Gold IRA. Okay, so since home storage is totally out, let's circle back to the required alternative, that approved depository. According to the source, what should you really be looking for when choosing one, besides just being IRS approved?
Well, security is paramount, obviously. The material really emphasizes looking for concrete things. Those state-of-the-art vaults we mentioned, 247 surveillance, sophisticated alarm systems, controlled access. You want top-tier physical security.
Makes sense. What else?
Insurance. That's huge. You need to be sure the depository carries enough insurance to cover the full market value of your holdings in case of theft, damage, catastrophe.
Right, full replacement value.
Exactly. And beyond the physical security and insurance, the depository is also key for compliance. They provide the necessary paperwork, the account statements detailing your physical holdings, which you and your custodian need for IRS reporting.
So they protect the metal, and they provide the proof for the IRS, both vital. And naturally, none of this comes free, right? The article mentioned costs.
Correct. There are definitely fees involved in setting up and maintaining a Gold IRA with physical storage. You'll likely see setup fees when you open the account.
Okay.
Then there are annual fees. Your custodian will charge an annual account administration fee, and the depository will charge an annual storage fee, which often depends on the value of your metals and maybe whether you chose segregated or non-segregated storage.
Right, storage isn't free.
Nope. And there might also be transaction fees when you buy or sell the metals within the IRA. The source material generally presents these as, the necessary costs of doing business this way, legally, securely, and keeping everything above board with the IRS. It's the price for that compliance and peace of mind.
The cost of doing it right. Okay, let's make this practical. Say someone listening is thinking, all right, I want to do this the right way. What are the actual steps involved? According to the sources, how do you get gold into an IRA and stored properly?
The material lays out a pretty clear path. Step 1, choose your team. You need to select a reputable Gold IRA company to work with and also choose a qualified custodian. Researching both is really important.
Okay, choose the company and the custodian. Step 2.
Step 2 is opening the actual Gold IRA account. The Gold IRA company usually helps you with the paperwork for the custodian you've picked.
Account open. Now money. How does that work?
Step 3, fund the account. Usually this means rolling over funds from an existing retirement account, like an old 401k or another IRA, or maybe transferring funds. That money goes directly to the custodian.
Got it. Money's landed with the custodian. Now for the shiny stuff.
Exactly. Step 4, select your metals. This is where the Gold IRA company really assists. They'll help you choose the specific gold or silver coins or bars that meet those strict IRS requirements for fineness and type. Not just any gold necklace or old coin collection qualifies.
Right, got to be IRA eligible metals. Then what?
Then, step 5, storage coordination. Once you've bought the metals using the funds in your IRA, the custodian works with the Gold IRA company and the depository to arrange for the secure transportation and storage of your metals at that IRS-approved facility you selected.
Sounds like the company and custodian really hold your hand through that process.
They generally do, yeah. It's in everyone's interest to make sure it's done compliantly from the start.
Okay, so it's all set up. The gold is safe and sound in the depository. What about down the road? How do you stay compliant year after year?
Yeah, maintaining compliance is definitely an ongoing thing. The sources highlight that. Your custodian is key here. They'll send you regular account statements showing your holdings.
Like a bank statement, but for gold bars.
Sort of, yeah. And they handle the required reporting to the IRS about the assets in your IRA. But the advice is usually that you, the investor, should also keep your own meticulous records.
Good practice anyway.
Absolutely. And stay generally aware of any changes to tax laws that might affect IRAs or precious metals. Basically, keep in touch with your Gold IRA company and your custodian. Regular communication helps make sure everything stays on track.
Okay, this has been, well, a really clarifying deep dive. We started with that simple question, can I keep my IRA gold at home? And we've unpacked the clear no, the reasons why, who needs to be involved, the process, and the potential consequences.
Understanding all these pieces is it's fundamental if you're considering this type of investment. Getting it wrong can be incredibly costly.
For sure. So summing it all up, what does this really mean for you, the listener? It means that appealing image of having your retirement gold tucked away in your own safe. If it's IRA gold, that's off the table. Trying it could lead to major tax hits and penalties.
The only legal and secure route involves those specific players. The custodian managing the account, the IRS-approved depository physically storing the metal, and often a Gold IRA company helps orchestrate it all.
Right. So compliance isn't just bureaucracy. It's actually about safeguarding your retirement funds from taxes, penalties, and even theft by using this established, regulated system.
Exactly. It provides a structure, security, and a paper trail for the IRS.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a final thought, kind of prompted by the source material itself. Even though you absolutely cannot store the gold yourself at home, you still have some really important decisions to make. You have to choose who you trust.
That's a critical point. You need to pick the Gold IRA company you work with, the custodian who administers your account, and the depository where your physical assets will live.
Which leaves you, the listener, with a pretty significant question to ponder if you go down this road. How do you really vet these partners? How do you balance finding a company and custodian and depository that you trust, that offers security and good service, while ensuring everything stays fully compliant? That's the next layer of due diligence, isn't it?
It really is. Choosing those partners wisely is key to making the whole strategy work effectively and safely over the long term.
Something to definitely think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.